Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am back, you guys. I am back. Um, these are back to back, okay, conversations, okay. Are the natives related to the Mexican people? Okay. Apples don't fall, fall from the tree. Okay, so um shout out to everybody that's about to appear into the chat. This is Chief Hina Nola 504. I'm giving you guys more information, probably more than I have ever. I am getting back to more YouTube content, and you guys know that I have been over to TikTok, but I am back over YouTube doing more things. Okay, and I'm trying to strive to go towards being more monitored. Look, I had a couple of beers, y'all, but it is what it is. So I'm trying to monitorize my content, and I'm trying to be more clean with the things that I say. Than I have with the cussing and more of the things that I used to do in the past. So I'm trying to be a little bit more clean, y'all. So bear with me. You're probably not used to this new Pinot Noir 504, but it is what it is. But you guys, this way we're gonna be talking in just a few minutes. Shout out to everybody that's coming into the chat. I see the one person that just came into the chat. Shout out to you. Hey, you guys, I am back. I am so ecstatic. You guys, I love you guys so much. We will be coming on in just a couple of more minutes. We will be coming on. Make sure you hit the like buttons. Also, share the video, okay? And if you do not like the content, you can press the dislike button. You guys that are in the bushes, please do not be ashamed to come into the comments and show your dislike at Chief Pinot Nola 504. I am not a person who get in my feelings. I would love to get better with my programming. So if you guys will, just say what you will, okay? Welcome, 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 welcome. And shout out to Chief. I see you in the chat. Love you so much. I am so glad to see you, Chief. It's been a while, and I am doing more content on my channel here. And I have deleted a lot of the cussing that I used to do um, in my content. A lot of stuff, a lot of videos have been removed. Um, I'm just trying to reinvent my content, and shout out to you guys here over here in YouTube. And I'm trying to reinvent myself again, and all the great following that I have. And thank you guys. When I first came to YouTube, I was so in my emotions and not understanding social media, and I was so much into, telling my truth, telling the passion in my voice. I will always be passionate for you guys. But I know the game now, okay? And the game is they're not, the algorithm is just not allowing my voice to be heard when I curse and when I am very just outrageous, some of the things that I do. And you guys may love the passion, but being on YouTube and being on social media, it really gets me blackballed. it really gets me blackballed. So I'm really doing my best to contain and control the way I speak here on these social media platforms. I kind of learned by being in TikTok. TikTok has really showed me, I have grown on TikTok probably faster than I have ever did on YouTube. And I have learned with how the algorithm works, okay? And I am getting better. I'm still that guy who has fire in his eye. And you probably know that if you follow me on TikTok and I get on other people's panel, I still cuss your ass out. You heard me? I will still cuss your ass out. You know what I'm saying? And I will still be fighting for my people. That's just the way it is. But what I have been asking in um the content that I made early on, it was about we were talking, and hopefully you guys let me know if you guys can hear me clearly because I have my headsets on, and if it's not working, I will take the headsets off and talk manually. Okay, so just let me know if the headsets are bothering you guys. Okay, um, I do know that early on we were talking about Mexican people relying. Why do they have a need to need black folks, so-called African American, so-called black folks, to lead to charge for them, to be the centerpiece for their movements? And why not cry out to the Latino people, the other Latin countries? Why not cry out to the Dominicans? Why not cry out to the Honduras people? Why not cry out to Puerto Rican people? Why not cry out to Cuban people? Why not cry out to all Latin people, Latino people out there? Why is the pressure when it comes to black people here in America? Why they have so much pressure when it comes to us that for us to lead the march for them? Why they getting hit with plastic bullets and we get hit with real bullet shells? Why they are getting hit with plastic rubber bullets and we get hit with real bullets? They want us to be the golden shield for their people. And as you can read in the topic, it says, are Native Americans related to the Mexican people? Because I have not heard a Native American stand up and say, hey, these are not my people. And I have seen this. These people are supposedly, allegedly, the Spaniard people. The Spain, they are connected to Spain and they have African descent blood. And these people have Asian blood. And these Mexican people are claiming to be Siberian people, are claiming to be Eskimo people, are claiming to be the Mongolian people. So the question I would love to hear in the chat, do you believe that Native Americans are related to the Mexican people? Because they on social media, these guys and women are acting as though they are the indigenous people of America. And why Native Americans are not putting the heat on them when they claim that we are stealing their indigenous title in America. We ask these questions. These questions need to be asked because indigenous black people were here before 1492. Melanated people were always in this land before 1492. And if you believe that millions of these people came from slave ships in a current that they had to come back and forth to, you are delusional. You would believe that our people would not be able to have blood clots. Our people would not be able to go through the illness, the sicknesses, the water drought, the food drought of coming from such a large voyage, chained up, beaten in whips. Ask yourself these things. Ask yourself these things. And these are the things that we talk about. The delusion of believing that we are foreign people in this land. Are the Native Americans related to Mexican people? They seem to have the same agenda against our people. They seem to have the same dislike for our people. So are they related? Or are some of these people are just delusional? Are these people are just because I remember a time and I'm 50 years old, and I remember a time where these people shout out to Dr. Cobbs, my brother Dre Cobbs in the house. I call you Dr. Cobbs. And what I tell people all the time is that what I don't understand is if you are the people of indigenous heritage and you don't seem to have a problem with Mexican people who are very cultural people who believe in Telemundo. I have never heard them speak a native tongue but Spanish. I have never heard Mexican people refer to themselves as Native American. And shout out to the TikTok brother of Mexico who have said that they are not Mexicans. Cortez brought these people there. That they are Spaniard people. These people are Spaniard people. When did these people become native of America? And when they talk about the invading, and they talked about California used to be Mexico, but they didn't tell you that they invaded the indigenous people before it became California. Because Queen Khalifa, which was a melanated woman, ruled California. Texas was ruled by indigenous black people in America before these people invaded. They won't tell you this stuff. They'll tell you Mexico used to be that Texas and California used to be Mexico, but they won't tell you what was these people in the beginning. That the mounds and the pyramids were already here before the Spaniards came into this land. Why they won't teach this, I don't understand. Why would though they won't tell you the genuine facts about what we were before the mixing of our heritage? Why they won't tell you that the so-called Mexican people that they call Afro-Indigenous, Afro-Mexican, were the people, original people before the mixing of that land. That melanated people, the blood of melanated people were already there. Portuguese people were dark-skinned people. That every four corners of the planet were dark-skinned people. That white, light-skinned ain't right. You've been trained to believe that a lighter skin complexion means original. It never could be original. Lighter skin is new to the world, new to the planet. Even my light complexion is not original. And I'm not even a light skinned brother. The melanated people are the original people of everybody. Diana Ross in the house. It's so great to see Diana Ross. It's so great to see Diana Ross. And what we don't understand is that darkness creates light. That darkness creates light. That the dirt that you come from, the clay that you were made from, that racist people who create this thing that light is better. that light is better. Light is the mutated of the planet. Light skin is the mutated. The blue eye is the mutated, the recession gene. The brown eye is the dominant gene. They are dark skinned people in a nation of the planet that creates blue eyes and green. White tea people get green eyes and blind and blue eyes from and gray from melanated people. That mutation comes from melanated people. It doesn't come from white people. The melanated woman has the Eve gene. She creates people, all people. And she brings out that mutated gene. I have people in my family that are dark, 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 and dark and have blue eyes, green eyes. It's nothing special. And they have to wear glasses because it's the weaker eye. Darker skin is original. Lighter skin is mutated. Nothing wrong with being mutated. Doesn't mean you're less. You're just not original. Stop acting acting though that you were the people of the planet. The sun tells the truth about you. The sun tells the truth about you. If you're getting bubbles in your back, you're getting bubbles in your back. The sun doesn't like you. Okay? It doesn't like you. Most of you people live in caves. Most of you people do not see sunlight. Most of you people are the product of your environment. If you live in Alaska, you're not going to see the sun as a person that lives in South America. Most of you don't understand that people of color has hair and people that is not of color have fur. People of color hair grows to the sky like a flower. It blossoms like a tree. People with fur, their hair drops to the bottom of the ground. That's the difference. People of color does not attract bugs because their hair is a defensive mechanism because of the environment that they live in, tropical environment. That's why their hair mats up and it keeps them from getting bugs and lights and anything else, ticks and shit. Where then unpeople of color are more able to get to that. Fur is just like a dog, it's like a cat. It may look pretty, but it's not original. Think about these. Some of the things that I have always told people, some of the things that is taught when we listen to people, we listen to the minds of people, we think that we are less when we are more. That we are less when we are more. You have been told that your lips is a negative in your life. And then people will pay thousands to have the lips that you have. Just ask the Kardashians who pay thousands to have full lips. I never seen a monkey that had full lips. In every creation of monkeys, I never seen a monkey that had full lips. One of the concepts that we listen and these things to make you low vibration and not higher vibrations, to make you feel less, to make you feel like you're a bad or you are a unintelligent person. We talked about these things. We talked about the fact that we see more of YT people who eat fried chicken. You go into the South, you go into Alabama, you go down there, you see YT people all in KFC. You see YT people all in Popeyes, but they'll tell you a chicken joke to black people, so-called melanated people, so-called black people, so-called African American people are the ones who eat the chicken. But it reflects on what they do. They tell you that you eat the watermelon, where we should eat the watermelon. Don't you ever let these people degrade you to the fact that you don't eat watermelon. Watermelon helps men sexually. Watermelon helps men with their libido. Most men having problems in their 40s, in their 50s, getting it up, just eat you some watermelon. It helps the bloodstream. It helps the libido. It helps you become a man again. But you listen to these people who tell you that if you eat that, that must mean that you a monkey. And let me tell you something, I would rather be a monkey because monkeys eating plants, eating fruits, eating bananas, eating the things that you should be eating while you having diabetes, while you having cancer, while you struggling with your life and with your lifespan, while you're going through the things that you're going through. Are you sitting here letting the colonizer tell you that you are a monkey when they are truly these people? These people have the Neanderthal bloodline, but you allow these people to make you feel less. Talk about your nose, talk about your lips. But these people are having perfect surgery and constructive surgery to look like you. And you guys out here paying money to try to be like them. Ain't that crazy? You guys are paying money to try to look like them. One of the greatest singers of all time, Michael Jackson, You Are Not Alone. Michael has to shrink his nose because he said, I don't like my nose because I look ugly. Mike said, I don't like my nose because I look ugly. These are the things that plays on our people for years, thinking that they're ugly when they're gorgeous and they're beautiful just the way they are. And they believe these things, these stereotypes about themselves. And these people turn around and take the looks. We talked about Sarah. We talked about Sarah. We talked about how Sarah talked about these things. We talked about how Sarah said how Sarah was great. She was great. The grapes that happened to her, the grapes that happened to Sarah before they even had BBL. Melanated women had natural behinds. Melanated women had natural behinds. Melanated women were natural beautiful people. Melanated women didn't have to involve themselves into surgery. And now melanated women want to be like the blind woman, want blind hair and blue eyes because they've been told so long that they're ugly. We've been so told so long that they don't look attractive. And I blame our men. I blame our men because we're not boosting up our women to know their worth. Our women should not have to feel inferior to any other women. Some of us don't even love our mama. Some of us don't even love our own mother. And that's why we treat women the way we treat women, because we don't love our own mother. I always tell you, women, watch how he treats his mother in the way that he would treat you, the way that he would treat you. And some of these men don't truly love their mother. And I don't blame them for not loving their mother because some of these mothers are not capable of raising a son or a daughter because they're caught up in the world and they have lost their root. You don't want to be called a B in the H and you present yourself in front of your sons like a B in the H. You want respect, but you don't respect your sons because the very first person you should respect is your son. And some of you single mothers don't see this stuff. But your sons are looking at you. And some of the things that you don't see, that they feel that their mama, these men coming in after time and time and time, these different men coming in the house, and they are seeing how you treat it. It takes a man to raise a man, and it takes a woman to raise a woman. But there are some strong women who were able to maintain and allow other men to raise their son. And rather it was the grandfather, rather it was a neighbor, they allow others to come in and help them. They allow others to come in and help them. In this new generation, you can't tell nobody, child, nothing. You can't say nothing because this new generation is all about feelings. It takes a village to raise children. And I tell people all the time a testimony that I had. And I didn't have a father in my life. I had a community in my life. And I remember that I was a man, a young man, who was only 5 years old, a baby, growing up in the time when I needed a man in my life. And I remember going through the effects, and I watched TV. Used to love watching the Three Stooges and watching the Little Rascals and watching television and watching the time where they had the real Superman and the real Spider-Man and the real Wonder Woman. And I remember there was a time when I was 5 years old and I used to love to watch Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, I love me some Linda Carter. For those who can't understand, I'm 50 years old. And Linda Carter was Wonder Woman. And I remember that I liked her superhero and the things that she was doing to the point where I wanted to be her. I was just 5 years old, didn't know no better. And I remember that I would take my mother's aluminum foil to make braces to stop the bullets that was coming around. Didn't know no better. And I remember I stole my mother's heels. And I remember stealing her heels and trying to be Wonder Woman. And I took a curtain rod and made a cape. But Mr. Boo across the street saw me walking around in my underwear and my mother's high heels. And I remember him saying, "Boy, get your ass inside and come on back over here. 'Cause I want to talk to you." He said, "You don't need to wear no woman's clothes. That's a woman's hero. You need to wear Spider-Man." Mr. Boo went and bought me Spider-Man. And I began to realize that a man should be in men clothes and not women clothes. And I was 5 years old because I had a man who was not my father who came in and told me the difference of being a man, a boy. And it's okay to still love Wonder Woman, but you're not a woman. It's okay that Wonder Woman is your superhero, but you're not a woman. And that's when people had villages, okay? Villages raised our communities. Now, Mr. Boo was not nowhere related to me, but he stepped in when others didn't. And you have to understand these things. See, I'm comfortable in my skin to tell you these stories because I'm a masculine man who can tell you this stuff. It's not going to change anything about me for telling you who are who where I came from, my roots or whatever the hell. I'm an open book. And being an open book is being honest with yourself, being a child and understanding who you are. And that's the difference of having a black man in the household. That's the difference. In this day and time, you have people now who are in this day and time, you have people now who are pushing agendas on these young people. They are pushing these agendas on people. They are pushing sexual things on young people. We didn't know anything about no same genders and stuff like that. We didn't know shit about that. We played cartoons. We watched G.I. Joe. We watched He-Man. Nobody knew nothing about sexual intercourses and stuff like that. They are pushing these things on these young people. They are pushing. Kids don't know this shit, but they are pushing these agendas on young people. They don't know what their sexual pressure preferences are. And this is why I have a problem with Dwayne Wade. This is what I have a problem with Dwayne Wade. You just, what you do in your house as a father and a mother, when you are a adult, you control your life. You can choose the things that you want to be. When you're not paying bills, you chose who you want to be. When you got your own house, but when you are a father and you are a mother, it's your duty to raise your children. It's your duty to teach them to be a rightful man and a rightful woman. And whatever they chose to be, whether they want to be a tree, whether they want to be a house, whether they want to be a dog, or whether they want to be a cat, whether they want to be a damn a dinosaur, that's their choice when they leave the house. But underneath your life, underneath your watch, they have the rights. A child does not have a right to be who they want to be. It goes to show everything you think you are a social construct of a role. Yes, you're right. It just goes to show you, and you're right. The kids don't know because they're born into shit, and that's absolutely correct. And we got to stop gaslighting these children. Some of y'all mamas, some of y'all grandmothers was bouncing that ass on social media, on Soul Train, not social media, on Soul Train. Some of y'all mamas and daddies was backing that ass up on Soul Train. They were doing what they're doing now. But what you have to do is be honest. I have not forgotten who I used to be, but you want your children to be better than what you used to be. You want them to be better than who you were. If you were a drug dealer, you don't want them to be who you used to be. You work hard so they won't be a drug dealer. If you were a woman who was giving up your body, you sacrifice so your daughter won't do the things that you have done. You're supposed to be better than your children. Not mean your children are supposed to be better than you, but you're supposed to be example of your children because your children are the reflection of you. Your children are the reflection of your life. Your children are your higher self. You are your lower vibration of you. Your children are your higher self of you. And you are the lower vibration of yourself. You are in a time machine. And these children are evolving off of you. And some of you parents are so jealous of your children, competing with your children. Stella got her god doggone groove back. Trying to get your groove back. You're too doggone old for that. Some of you men you just won't give it up. We blame the men. We talk about these women, but some of you men out here, old people like Shannon Sharp are losing corporations, losing $1 million businesses, corporations, because they want to be what they used to be, and they didn't never get to be what they was until they got money. Because that's what happened to Shannon Sharp. See, a man like Shannon Sharp, when he didn't have money, he wouldn't have women approach him because he felt so insecure about himself. He thought he was too dark. He thought he was ugly. That's what he thought in his mind. So he tries to buy women. He got money and he tries to buy them. He tries to possess them. And look at the situation he's in right now. He's losing millions because of this. Potentially going to lose millions of dollars. And I always talked about a man who wants a young woman, who does not want to marry, who does not want to marry. You always question a man who lived that long and don't want to marry. Stephen A. Smith don't want to marry. All them years you ain't laid down with one woman. All these years you out here still out here running the goddamn street. All these years you still doing what you are. What is it? What? Are you telling me that you are not fulfilled in your life? You are still not fulfilled in your life. Something is broken inside of you. Something is broken inside of you. You know, a person in the chat said, DJ said that marriage is legal slavery of men. No, I don't believe that. Some men have sexual issues. They have to have more than one woman because they have a sexual problem. I have never been that kind of person. I am very, very kind. I am very, very content with one woman. You may want five or six or seven. And why the longevity of men don't last long, we talked about this stuff. Men don't live long when they deal with multiple women. Men don't live long when they deal with multiple women. And they're dealing with serpents. They're dealing with different spiritual entities that are getting inside of them. Watch who you sleep with. Watch who you lay down with. Because everything that you lay down with ain't gold. These women are serpents. And just because you can get it and you feel good, your longevity of life is shortened. Some of you guys hump on anything. You're just humping. And you don't realize that's another man's juice that is going inside you. See, you can't feel this spiritual energy that I'm teaching you, sir. I'm 50 years old, and I'm telling you that you are feeling another man's juice inside you. What she lays with is what you have inside you. What you lay with is in these days and times, you're not getting purity of a woman. You're getting purity of a woman, sir. And you're laying with people. And you don't realize that these people, these women are bringing their emotions. They're bringing some of their ill will, some of their toxicity inside you. And you're no different. When you want to call, some of you men want to call these women B's and H's. And you are the B's and H's. Because you cannot you cannot commit to one person. You cannot malfunction with committing to one person. You can't meditate with being with one person. You need all of these other entities inside you to make you consume that. Because when polygamy happened, polygamy was for building other nations and saving tribes. Polygamy was all for building tribes, the fallen nations that was needed. That's what polygamy was for. And each one of these women who were with these men had their own place. And they didn't live with the one man, they had their own place. They had their own place. They had a house. A man supposed to be able to supply a different spot for each one of these women. If you're going to live in a polygamous relationship, you have to be able to provide each one of these women with a different home. Because all of these women are not supposed to live together. And they were here to produce children. They were here to produce nations, to help preserve the people in our nations. It's not about sex because you guys believe it's all about getting your damn jack off. It's all about getting your jack off. That's why men are not preserved in sexual. They don't have a sexual peak as women do. Women can be screwing in their 80s. Men need assistance. Men need assistance. Women don't need assistance. Women will be 90 years old and they can still screw. Men gotta have a pill. And that's what we're talking about. You guys don't, you're probably too young to understand. You're probably too young to understand. But you'll get old and you'll understand. And we gotta stop treating women like they the B word. We gotta stop treating women like they're a slap of meat. And we got to treat the women like they're goddesses because you came from a mother. You came from a mother's womb. And you would not talk to your woman the way you talk about these women. You would not talk about your mother the way you talk about these women. You would not talk about your sister the way you talk about these women. You would not talk about your daughters the way you talk about these women. Your lack of respect is because the way you've been raised. And I'm sorry you have been raised by a neglectful mother who have neglected you and made you feel this way. I'm sorry that you went through that, sir. But I'm not going to blame women for everything in our civilization. We got to blame men. When are we going to take accountability on the shit that we do? As men, we are supposed to be the leaders. We are supposed to be the providers. And some of these beta men out here, there are so many beta men out here. There are so many men that are sitting here being like womenized. They act like they're women. And their emotions, they're competing with their women in the mirror. The women can't even be a feminine woman. And you got these men out here being feminine men. The woman can't even have the mirror to herself because the man is in the mirror. But you blame the woman. And most of these men are being taken advantage by elders. Some of these young men are being taken advantage by elders, taken advantage by other men, taken advantage by other men. There's a darkness out here. Many P. Diddy's out here. Young men are being blackballed into things that they should not be able to be blackballed into. These people are out here taking videos on drugging these young men, overdosing these young men, and videotaping these young men. and seducing these young men and telling them, if you tell on me, I'm going to show you video. Are Native Americans related to Mexican people? Are Native Americans related to Mexican people? Let's get back on topic. Are the Native Americans, in your opinion, related to Mexican people? I'd like to hear that in the chat. Are the Native Americans related to Mexican people? Do you believe that Mexican people who are Spaniards, do you believe that they are related to Mexican people? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Are the Native Americans? Ask yourself that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Donnie Chris said yes. What makes you believe that Native Americans and the Hispanians are related to the Mexicans are related to each other? Because we know that Mexican people are some of the most mixed people on the planet. We do know that. But Donna, what makes Mexican people Native American? Because they have African lineage in as well. What makes them related to Native Americans? Could you say that in the comment? Please let me know. I'm waiting on your response. What makes them? What makes them indigenous to America? Could you explain to me what makes a Mexican person a Native American? Are they Siberian? Are they related to the Siberian Asian? Do you believe that? Are they related to the Siberian Asian? Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad somebody else would say that because I'm trying to figure where they get this from. I'm trying, I would love that rather than say yes, give me a response what makes you believe that these people are connected to these people. I want to know. You said there are not indigenous to America. Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I hear what you're saying now. Okay, but you're saying that they have Asian descent, right? That's what you're saying? You're saying that they have an Asian descent? That's what make them similar to each other? Because that's what I want to know. Because I want to know the similarities to these people. Because one comes from Spain, one is mixed with Russia. So are you saying because the European part of them, because they have European, African, and Asian mixed in them? That's what makes a Native American. European, African, and Asian. That's what makes a Mongolian person. Okay. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay. All right. Thank you for answering. You are excellent. Thank you for answering because that's what I want to see. I want to see people respond to that. Okay. Native Americans and modern day Mexicans are mixed breed people. You can confuse most of both. Right. That's what I'm trying to get from my chat. Thank you guys. You guys are so intelligent. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You are exactly what I was trying to get out of you guys. It took a while. That's what I wanted to hear. What's your opinion? Those who are in the bushes who are not speaking, that's what we were trying to hear. What is your opinion? Everybody got an opinion. Everybody has an asshole. Opinions like assholes. Everybody has one. We would love to hear your opinion. Do you believe Native Americans are foreign people who came across a land bridge? Because every time you hear these people, they tell you to go back to Europe if you're YT people. They tell us to go back to Africa, even though we're not Africans. But where are they going to go? Are they going to the Spaniards, Spain? Are they going to the Mongolians? Are they going to eat to the Eskimo tribes? Are they going Siberia? Where are they going? Because I don't care what they say. The mounds in the pyramids were already developed in America. The mounds in the pyramids were already developed in America. They say the giants built them. Who were the giants? Anything to not give credit to dark, melanated people. They said when they came to this continent, when they came across the land bridge, they found the mounds in the pyramids in America. They found the mounds in the pyramids in America. If they found the mounds in the pyramids and these people came across you understand that Native Americans are the most walkative people that you ever see? How did they walk from Siberia all the way down to South America? Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, East Coast, West Coast, all the way down to Mexico, to South America. Why would y'all believe that? Do you see these people legs? Why would y'all believe that, family? It's no different than y'all believing that all of us come from slave ships. But why would y'all believe that these people walked all over this country in blizzards, into record heat? These people came from caves, came from winter climates, wearing fur coats of animals, and they came into a hot climate of the United States of America, the South, and they survived. Some of you guys can't even survive the humidity of Louisiana and Mississippi and Texas. Who y'all think we are? Who y'all think we are? What is wrong with y'all people? Why do y'all think that we are so, so illiterate? What is wrong with y'all? How could you believe these things? That your people came 6 to 8 months on a slave ship, thousands of y'all, defecating, urinating, blood clots, blood clots, blood clots. Anybody knows a CNA will tell you that the body has to be moved over so you won't get bed sores. How did they have the water and the supplies to be able to feed you if you're chained up in a position? How did you survive such a disease? These people told you, the Native Americans told you that they were unalive because of the disease that the Europeans brought to them. How the disease did not affect the Africans if it affect the Native Americans. If Europeans never met the Africans, how these people came to America not affected by the disease. In the Devil's Punch Bowl, you can Google this, Natchez, Mississippi, our people were in concentration camps. It was called the Devil's Punch Bowl. It was called prisoners of war. They gave us smallpox, and other diseases. We know in concentration camps that they in war, they submit you in war, they are going to do shit to you in war. You were a prisoner of war, not a slave, not a Slav. You don't hang, they don't hang people in the tree. That works for them. Their workers don't be hung in the tree. They need their supply. They need the people to work for them. They bring all of their families to watch people who had land patents, people who had land, and they hanged them in a tree. People who had property, they hanged them in the tree. They're not concerned with a slave. A slave is the person who's helping the empire. Not going to unalive that. That's important to them. It's like cattle. Why would you unalive your cattle? But the prisoners of war, like Lake Lanier, destroying and unaliving our people. Lake Lanier used to be called Oscarville, Georgia, and became Lake Lanier. And many of our people, our ancestors, churches, and towns are still underneath that water. That's just Mississippi. The Devil's Punchbowl, it still exists. Rosewood, Florida, still exists. Tulsa, Oklahoma, still exists. But I'd like to thank you guys for showing up tonight. Thank you guys for all of the support. Shout out to Tayshawn, one of my greatest, my brother. I have nothing but love. You're going to see a lot of me now. I am going monitor. I monitor lives in my content. I monitor lives in my content, and I just want you guys to know that it's going to be a lot more clean content. It's not going to be no cussing. I am going to I'm going into that stage where I'm going to still be exposing the masses, but I'm just not going to be as much as cussing as I was. But I thank you guys so much, and I love you guys. Thank you for sharing the video. If you guys could tell all of my followers and everybody, tell your friends to hit the like button or hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channel. And thank you guys, all of you guys who have blowed me up on TikTok. It's amazing that my TikTok channel is bigger than mine. It has grown faster than my YouTube channel. I know because I was in shadow ban. I had to delete many videos. And I'm changing a new leaf on TikTok. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for y'all support and everything that y'all have done for me. Dr. Cobbs, I call you Dr. Cobbs. I call you Dr. Cobbs. And I got nothing but love to you, Dre. Nothing but love to you. Thank you so much for the support that you give me. You are fire. All of the fire emojis, you are fire. You are fire. Tayshawn, you are fire. All of you guys who have came into the chat, all of you guys, Donna Christ, all of you guys. No, Donna, that person, I think I had no somebody who I had to leave, not Donna Christ. And shout out to Don Ross, my brother, Mr. C. Um, and Zoe Hunt, Zoo Hunt, all of you guys, you know what I'm saying? Brian supports my son. I love that brother there. You know what I'm saying? I just love Brian. And all of you guys, the big chief that came in earlier, love you guys, okay? Remember to support the channel. We're changing. I'm coming into a new era. There's gonna be some new topics. I'm dipping into some new stuff, y'all. So please support me. Once again, love you guys. One more time, we're gonna give the intro one more time, but I love you guys.